So, like I predicted last night, Crash Bandicoot Warped got the box art treatment that Crash 1 and Crash 2 got the previous days. So, what that means is we're going to be taking a look at the Crash Bandicoot Warped box art. Alongside of that, Sony has held a poll on the Sony PlayStation Twitter feed between 3 levels that they will be publishing for the first time from Warped and the Insane Trilogy. Your choices are between Future Frenzy, Tomb Raider, and Deep Trouble. Future Frenzy and Tomb Raider are both levels within the 4th Warp Room, while Deep Trouble is in the 3rd Warp Room and takes place underwater with Crash's scuba gear. All 3 are great choices. I personally, though, would choose one of the first 2 levels, because then if you choose one of those 2 levels, you can take a look at what Crash's Death Tornado Spin looks like. And in levels like Tomb Raider, you really have to use it to traverse there alongside of his double jump. So if you want to see some new animations from Crash, go for one of the 2 at the top, especially if you want to see the lighting. If you want to see the water physics and anything like that, take a look at Tomb Raider. Otherwise, if you want to see what it looks like underwater with Crash's new scuba gear, which isn't a bad choice, take a look at Deep Trouble. My personal vote, though, is Tomb Raider. On to the box art. We're seeing quite the attention to detail with these. Honestly, maybe Crash 1 wasn't as close to the original. It had a lot of things close to the original, but there was obvious things, like there was a question box that was extra compared to the normal or neutral box that appears in Crash 1's box art. But aside from that, Crash 1 was pretty close. I mean, there's some new assets there, but oh well. But as we zoom in and try to look at these old scans of old box arts, you can really see how much gaming has changed over the years. I mean, the motorcycle on the original game, it's great. It's actually pretty close in terms of its shape and everything. It's just that the lighting and the details and everything being, CG from then versus, I believe, hand-drawn on the left and painted, you can really see the pros and cons of both of them. Primarily the cons when it comes to looking at the old method and seeing what the new method is like. I'm pretty sure they could have made this faster using a 3D modeler back then, though, but I'm not too sure, or at least to their liking of some sort. Because a lot of these, like such as Pura's pose and Crash's pose, just became reuse assets on other marketing material, which of course happens, but you can see where they really reuse them in other games like Crash Team Racing. But we finally get a look at the logo too, which I didn't really highlight too much in the last one, but the Crash Bandicoot Warped logo, there's very subtle differences in that it's not as stretched out when it comes to where it says Crash Bandicoot. In fact, I think it's just using the generic one that we see in a lot of Crash Bandicoot art for the logo. I say that because the Bandicoot part isn't as one-to-one in the original, although it does look pretty close, so it's really hard to tell, but I think there's a little bit of differences. It's a little bit brighter than the one that I'm looking at right now as far as the Crash 1 or Crash Bandicoot on PlayStation 1 box art. Otherwise, font-wise, for Warped, it's, again, really, really close to the original. You are seeing a little bit of differences in terms of the strokes as far as the font goes and the logo goes, whereas there aren't any strokes, or at least any black strokes in the Crash Warped logo in the new one. So I think that's where I'm seeing that extra darkness to it. So I could be wrong there as far as what I'm truly looking at, because they're pretty close. I'm trying to find just about anything. As far as this goes, the baby T-Rex is slightly posed wrong. I mean, this is a very, very picky change. There's a little bit more grass detail, which is pretty cool, versus the, like, dead green look on the ground to represent grass. So, obviously, it's a lot more detailed. Technically, the Cortex board was on a hill in the original, and they kind of have that, but it's just a smaller hill. It's not that big of a deal. Again, these are very picky details, but we have to look at them. But as far as that goes, there's not too many differences. Like, I mean, there's a lot of differences, but as far as posing and everything goes, they're about the same. They're about 1-to-1. Without being able to look at the old one, you wouldn't say there's a difference at all. But once again, I want to turn this into a actual box art. I would totally just want to see this printed out. Heck, I'd like to see posters of these too, because of how nice they are. They actually are really high quality box arts. Their image size is just ridiculously big. So it would be nice to get printouts of these. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, this Friday we're going to be taking a look at Crash 3 finally from the Insane Trilogy. Not bad considering we are literally 37 days away. We're finally taking a look at Crash 3, but hey, it's better than nothing being 1 month away versus, you know, right before E3 or right during E3, which would have been like a week before when we finally got Crash 3 and we finally, you know, are relieved that yes, Crash 3 is finished. Don't worry about it. Again, I want to see the finished product nonetheless. So let's just hope that the wait for Crash Insane Trilogy isn't too long. And like I said in my previous video, not the previous one I uploaded, but the one before, the box arts, if you want to take a look at the game streamed at midnight, I'm going to be streaming at midnight during the launch from June 29th to June 30th. We're going to be taking a look at the Insane Trilogy. I'll probably be streaming some of the old games prior to that, just to kind of refresh myself a little bit. I'm probably going to be playing Crash 1 a little bit earlier than that even, so I might be streaming sometime before the release as well, just because I need to refresh myself, and I know you guys probably want to watch something like that, just get a refresher in case you can't play or anything like that, or you just want to have a good time and chat. Crash Bandicoot Warped finally being revealed this Friday. Of course I'm going to be here, so make sure you subscribe. Make sure you comment down below on what you think is going to be a good level reveal, or what level you want to see, even if it's not even listed. Tell me what you want. And of course, make sure you're subscribed to Castcoder for more videos from me besides Crash. And if you haven't taken a look at that channel, it's right in the description box down below. But that's all I have to say about this one. I'll see you in the next video, and definitely this Friday with the reveal of Crash Bandicoot Warped. See you then.